Hi everyone, this is GeoWill from FM Productions Squared, and we're back to continue our Mountain Blade Warband. Warband, yes, this is a Warband. Warband walkthrough and let's play. And so last time we went around and gathered up our army a bit, and decided that it's probably about time, and well, not only that, but because of a specific instance where it would allow us to do so without taking any kind of flack from other nations, or levy to, have some sort of negative thing with the lords of my nation, to go to war with Kirgit. The reason for it is because there's some sort of border dispute. They kidnapped somebody from Tobolk and took them to wherever. This place, Derrig Aban. And so I decided to say, okay, well, let's go do something to Kirgit and start something up, because it'd be nice to try and capture this territory while they are otherwise engaged with Sarenids, and maybe get on the Sarenids' good side. It doesn't really matter. We're going to take them over anyway eventually, but it's like, we'll go through, we'll take out their territory, and with it, whatever Serenid territory there is, or once we take out majority of their territory, we'll move right over into Sarenids and clear them out as well, and then we'll be left with just us and the Nords. And then I try to bring down the Black Knights or something. I think that it is currently turned off. Yeah. So supposedly if I turn it on, what'll happen is that they'll, it'll basically be whatever time frame. It could happen at any time that the Dark Knights would invade at that point. But we'll see how this plan works out first. So we took a Newsdak Castle, and we took Halmar, as we also took a Hun Castle up here, which is now under siege. My lords are... I have no clue what they're doing. They are not following me, though. They were following me, now they're not. So now we're going to have to Hun and try and keep our castle here. They're also, I think, sieging they were sieging Rindir, but I guess they're not anymore. Baylor, Taiji. We'll catch up with them here in a second. We'll take them out. It's not good to leave lords with over 100 troops floating around like that. Well, we'll see how much more slippery of a foe you are. So 228 because the other, I still got my, I have my, castle attack stuff, or at least, oh yeah, I think I also have the, can't relate it while on horseback. Yeah, I'm literally using throwing knives from the back of a horse. It's crazy. It's ridiculous that I haven't hit a single person yet. I'm like friggin' point blanking them, and it's like nothing. It's weird. I'm not even damaging the horses. It's like I'm not even hitting them with anything. Oh, I still got a sword though, so let's get some slicing and dicing here before the morale drops to the holy crap. And we got enemies, new ones. Alright, the guy's horse is gone. Thought I'd mentioning it more in the next developer's vlog for Disney Void, but I thought I'd mention it here because I haven't really been doing too much with it publicly in terms of like updates and things. The main reason for it is because there hasn't really been too much work I've done on it that's really showable, other than just like showing code and things like that. One thing I've been doing is I've been trying to figure out a way to kind of make some sort of wow, what the hell? Some sort of tool or something. That's right, spend it on the tree. That can kind of help in visualizing how EXP values given to enemies in the game affect how affect the leveling curves and like how the different settings that will affect the experience you get from enemies. So, like for example, how it works is I have a different formula now than what I had before. That's based more on I haven't looked at this stuff for a while, so I forget the exact particular name, but it's more based more on a mathematical kind of function, rather than just some random ass stuff that I type in, like, you know, random calculations and things, that allows stuff to scale more accurately. It becomes more of a instead of like a straight kind of upward line, it creates kind of a curve. There's a particular name for it, and I've forgotten it now. But I was working on this thing, and been working on some stuff related to that in Excel to try and make some sort of spreadsheet kind of based tool that could be used for that. So that's one thing I'll be showing. Also, I'm working on some other stuff. Okay, one related to the universe, as far as generating the universe in the current version of the game. 19 killed. Okay. that I've been working on the last couple of days. It's essentially forget to do it. It's essentially like a proof of concept thing that I'm working on. What it's supposed to do, or what eventually will do, is simulate the creation of the universe, the systems in the universe, the planets in the systems, and then the moons, asteroid belts, and stations around the planets. So it's essentially going to simulate building the game world. The reason I wanted to do this for is because I realized that there really should have like at some point have a proof of concept of how this can be saved. Because if you're gonna allow people to save the game, obviously you're going to, in this kind of game, you have to be able to store the existing state of the galaxy, of the universe, of all the different things in it. Or else what'll happen is when you load the game back up, stuff just changes for no reason. Like, you know, you're at one system before, at a station at one planet before, and now you're at some other station on some other planet. For no apparent reason other than that you just started and stopped the game again. So that's what I've been working on, is this program that will simulate creating the universe. Creating all the objects in the proper formats, like all the different variables that be generated, population, planetary stuff, station names, and all that the stuff that they would have, like the station inventories and things. Have all that be generated, then load that into a function that will save it into either the save database, the save file that I already have, or another one, probably the same one, because it'd be less annoying that way. It's like have a few tables that have an underscore suffix of like UNV or something for universe, and then save all that information into there, and then load it back into the game and see if everything loaded correctly. So what do we got here? We got 464 and 38. Wow, with 231 prisoners. The reason for this is because I want to check. First of all, I want to build out the system that'll do that, because it doesn't exist in the game right now, and it's something that has to be added in because of how things are going to be set up now in the game. Not really comfortable trying to take out Nara with just myself and only about 300 people. Or Duna. I'm not sure if I have a good enough relation with these guys. We'll see though. Yeah, I think it was my town when it was part of Swadia. I'm not sure. I might be thinking of one of the other times I was recording this. One of the other attempts to record the walkthrough. Yeah, it's not mine this time. It was probably the second or third one. This is actually the fourth time recording the Let's Play. The first 3 times there were a couple of issues that weren't really, just a couple of small ones or major ones that would have, really messed up the quality of the walkthrough. Let's try and melee your castle here. Anyway, but so I figured, I have to build this thing anyway, so why not do it now and can work out all the bloody bugs and things that are probably existing in the code I already have, because I can't compile that code yet. But I've been, doing tons of crap with it, and there's probably all kinds of problems with it. And so put that into this proof of concept thing, and then build it and see what explodes, and then fix that. Well, that's turned out to be a very good idea, because a hell of a lot of stuff broke. And it wasn't stuff easily fixed. It was like foundational, crappy, logical coding kind of stuff that made me have to restructure a lot of things and rethink how certain things were going to work. Which is going to actually necessitate a lot of recoding of, maybe not a lot of recoding, but some recoding of what's already there in the game to accommodate the system that's going to be put into it, but also to fix things that are obviously wrong now that I realize are wrong, that have to be fixed. But the past couple days I've been working on this thing, and gone through all kinds of crap trying to get to work, and finally I've gotten to a point where I can actually build it, and I'm now testing different things and figuring out what works, what doesn't. And I'm at a point where it's actually able to create everything the way it's supposed to. Now I have to go through and fix a few things and figure out why some things aren't working. For example, population... Let's see, accuracy, 94 damage, 25 damage, it's 19 and 12. So, I mean, to be honest, the crossbow does way more damage, but it's harder to use. What the hell? They're like running away. Oh, crap. I did not click fast enough to try and get away from that. Well, let's go ahead and fight. They could probably beat them. The main problem is that I can't use this crossbow on the horse. So what I may actually end up doing is... Well, I can use it, I just can't... reload it on the horse. That guy went right in front of me. Ouch. Okay, enough of that. I don't know what kind of bloody weapons these guys have, but they like frickin' just eat my health away. They got some pretty serious single-handed weapons or something. Of course, that guy has also probably hit me with some speed assistance there, so it's not too surprising. I suppose that did quite a bit of damage, but at the same time, it's like, what the hell? He took out like 35% of my health with one hit, and I mean, you're talking about, you know, a character with armor that's literally waded through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of enemies before taking no damage. It's those damn spears they have. I have to do piercing damage. And they can use them as either a throwing weapon or a melee weapon. I think that's what it is. So it ignores either some or most of your armor. Which would account for all the damage. Yeah, this guy's a champion lancer. I think that's what it said he was. I'll find out when I kill him. Ah, savage. Whatever. Okay. Still, I mean, they got some pretty serious lancers. There goes the horse. Trying to kill a Kierkegaard archer on foot is like impossible. Oh, come on. I was like half a second late releasing the attack. So the next step for that is going to be to fix those issues up and make it generate all the actual data that it normally would. Then create some way to actually view the data to make sure it's being created correctly without having to use putting debug statements or watch lists or something like that. And then figure out go through and figure out the best way to save the data. And then figure out the best way to load it and make sure it all loads back in correctly. And then from there it'll go into the game. So I'm hoping to do by the time do the next update, which probably will be, to be honest, I really have no clue. It could be a month or two. I'm thinking about waiting just to maybe to the end of the year or something even. It's something I've considered. See, it looks like it didn't... Oh, I know why. I turned the damage thing off, didn't I? Right. The damage readouts are off, so of course it wouldn't show. I was probably hitting them with the knives then. I just didn't realize it. Oh, I ended up winning. I probably took more casualties than I would have hoped for this first round. Looks like there's still a few guys left that they're going after. Oh, there's still a few. There's probably at least one more. They probably like came over here and like huddle up in groups or something. Yeah, there's I think 3 or 4. Maybe 5 total that were left. Or how many did we lose? 11 killed? Blah. It's not very good. Still, we survived it. We got 18 renown. And then in that, I'll probably also have some. So I'll have that thing in the Excel stuff. I'll have probably a better idea of what I'm doing, because there will be a database for enemies. There will be certain factions that will exist, certain corporations and pirate factions that will exist that will have predetermined ships or ship configurations that will be used at the beginning of the game, and then those will start to evolve over time as well. So like you'll start seeing ships that will have different configurations from what's in the database. The default stuff that they start out with, in response to different things. So like for example, well, let's think of this organically. So if a pirate clan, whatever you want to call them, outfit starts attacking a bunch of your ships, your trade ships and things, what would be your response? One, you'd probably hire people to deal with those pirates, but also you would toughen up your ships. So what'll happen is that these different base level or base configured ships will start becoming becoming tougher as things happen in the game. So like a ship that might start out with, maybe 1,000 hull points, they may upgrade it at some point to have more hull points by switching out the armor or something. Not the armor, but the structural, what did I call it? Hull superstructure on the ship. Try not to get too close. Don't get close enough. So the problem on horseback is that if you get too close, the horse hits them and it knocks them down. And it's really hard to then hit them after that. We can do it like I just did now, but I think it exclusively works only for two-handed weapons or longer types of pole arms and things. So it should be interesting. I don't think I'll have anything new for the actual UB4 front. I might though. There was a plugin I bought a while back, an AI plugin that I want to try out. I may have some like basic rudimentary ship designs or something that's really crappy looking for testing. I might have some sort of like simulated battle or something. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on when I decide to do the update. If it's at the end of the year, then it's more likely it'll have something like that. So I want to get stuff that's going to show a little more progress, or show at least a little bit more of what the final product is going to be, final end stage of the game is going to be. What's going to look like, how it's going to play, stuff like that. There's only so much you can do with showing coding and showing you creating weird music and things like that. So I got only 13 wounded that time. Oh, my horse went down fast. Jeez. Was it open season on me or something? Jeez. I don't know how many times I tried to hit that guy. Jeez. Oh wow, how much more enemies. How nice. I should have like split them open, but I didn't. Barely messed with that.